Hello everyone, I'm back, shortly after wrapping up the previous few videos. In this video, I'm pretty much talking about my game plan moving forwards, just sort of unpacking the thoughts that I'm having with my 2-year plan, my journey so far. So strap in and yeah, enjoy. This video, much like this video, I'll be speaking a little bit more candidly about my plans moving forward. Okay, my series. I want to release it sometime in December next year, so December 2025. Initially, towards the end of last year, towards the end of 2023, I'd actually planned on releasing the book then, but this was before I'd realized, I guess, the kind of mess that I was in communicating with the artists and not having anything that I needed in time. So this time around, I'm giving myself way more than enough time to get what I need in order. So yeah, the rough release date will be December 2025. So yeah, how do I fill in the time between now and then? Well, I don't just plan to release it in December, if that makes sense. That's going to be for the physical launch. So for the physical copies of the book, I plan to go through my friend, Mr. B. I won't tell you his name, but I will tell you that he owns a manga and comic shop in Australia. I'll need to actually have a chat with him before I release any details of him in my videos. But he owns a manga and comic shop, and that is where he's released his own series. It's being sold through there. So I do plan to sell physical copies through his shop. But as for online copies, that's the decision that I haven't quite made yet. So just trying to figure that out over this time. But, you know, there are quite a few light novel authors that sell their books through Amazon or, you know, like Webtoons, or I can't remember what the other platforms are called. But so they're putting their work out there on other platforms and getting paid for it. So there are options for me to release earlier, but the actual physical copies, so physical books, the plan is for December next year. So a question that I think that some might have, not that there are too many people even watching my videos currently, but I think a question that some people might have is, if I've already written the whole first volume, why am I not just releasing it? What am I doing with it? And that's a good question. And that is a question, there's an answer that I've tried to keep under wraps for a while, but to explain it as briefly as I can without giving away too much detail, I said in a previous video, I want it to be a little bit more of a visual experience than just reading words on a page. Again, without saying too much, I spent a fair bit of time creating these characters, having an image in my head of what they look like, their outfits, their hairstyles, the general aesthetic. I've spent so long imagining it up. I spent ages drawing, I think it was like 6 characters, mostly because I can't draw confidently, so it took ages for me to draw like a face on one character. But yeah, I feel like I've put so much time into what I believe that they will look like and what I want them to look like and how I want the world in the story to be viewed. So I do want it to be a little bit more of a visual experience than just reading words on the page. So that is why I'm holding on to it, and that is why I am in the process of trying to get everything sorted, trying to find an artist or artists to do that work that I can't do myself. I can handle the writing part. Hopefully from now on, I can do it a little better instead of leaving it for months at a time without even opening it. But yeah, that's that question sort of answered there. So yeah, in this time, I do need to read over it, make any adjustments, and yeah, there's a few things that need to be set straight, or a few things that need to happen before any real moves forward happen. So anyway, right now I have, in my head anyway, have all bases covered in terms of the plan for the book moving forwards. But yeah, I don't want to be so hyper-focused on just this book. I don't want to make it feel like it's draining the life out of me just to put words on a page. And I don't want to neglect any other ideas for books that I might have. It's a natural reflex for me. Be inspired by something I see either on TV or just in real life or anything, just thoughts to pop into my head and to create stories. Not allowing myself to do that is probably going to be a little bit unhealthy. And, I come up with stories all the time. Not all of them make it to the page, but at least it's out of my system. I've thought up a story, or as much of a story as I could. It got to a point where I didn't think it was going to go anywhere, so I just neglected it. If I do that, I know it's going to be eating up a little bit of time, but it's going to be a lot more healthy for me in the long run. So, yeah. So the next order of events is the tennis. So, referring to this 2-year plan, this 2-year period, my main focuses are on my book, tennis, and content creation. So tennis is up there, and I want to talk about that a little bit. So I've mentioned in a previous video, I have another channel dedicated to tennis called JT Tennis. That's my brand as a tennis player. And basically what it was, or what it started as, was me trying to be, I think I've said, the tennis version of GM Golf. I have mad respect for Garrett Clark, who is GM Golf. I love what he does. I love the lifestyle he lives. And yeah, I wanted to, initially when starting JT Tennis, that was the goal, to make a living playing tennis without playing heaps of competition, just being able to have some hits with my friends, play some practice matches with my friends, play some games with my friends, be innovative, and make content creation for tennis a more popular thing. But after a long time of failing at it, due to a number of reasons, I'm deciding to step away from playing content. Now, I'm not stepping away from playing. Since I've been here in Europe, it has lit a fire under me. I do feel the fire to actually play a little bit more. I'm not going to say that I'm going to actually try and play on tour or anything, or give any of that a go, but yeah, just playing, finding opportunities to play, and not sort of shying away from the tennis court because it's my job back in Australia. So yeah, so moving away from the playing content, moving a little bit more into a few other things. Like I said, I will play. I'm not really going to record a lot of the time where I'm playing. Maybe here and there I might record something and use it for other purposes. But yeah, I'll be moving away from playing content. I want to try and move a little bit more into the gear niche. So I have a ton of rackets at home, both at my mum's place and at my place. There are a ton of tennis rackets around, and I've been seeing tennis accounts on Instagram, people just taking photos of their racket and string setups for the day, taking a picture of their tennis bag. Like, they might have equipment like I do, a bunch of equipment, unnecessary amount of equipment that they're just showcasing. So myself and a few of my friends back at home are all kind of like collectors in our own way. We've got a lot of rackets, we've got a lot of gear that we could showcase. So trying to move a little bit more into the gear side of tennis. It's a little bit more sustainable. It won't really take away from the other things that I have going on. And yeah, the next thing will be starting up JT Tennis Talks again. So I have JT Tennis, that's my brand, but I started a separate channel for, I guess, like podcasting. But again, that became tough. It was just tough to organize guests to have on the podcast, and trying to edit it up or like produce them was taking up a fair bit of time. So I stopped that after 3 or 4 episodes. But yeah, I'm going to start JT Tennis Talks again, but I'm going to keep it pretty simple. I'm not going to go into full podcast format. It will be a podcast type of video with just me talking in a mic to, with my laptop in front of me with notes. Can't see my laptop right now, but yeah, there it is. Yeah, just talking. Because, like I've said, I've liked playing, but I think there's a little bit more of a mission for me to accomplish in tennis. And I think it is in the form of innovation, trying to evolve tennis past what it is. I think the introduction of UTS by Paddy Moratoglu is massive. And we're seeing how popular it is. And I think that there is room for more innovation, because tennis is dying out at the club level, like Djokovic has said. It is dying out. Courts are being replaced with pickleball courts. In Europe, a lot of courts are being replaced with paddle courts. And I think tennis deserves a little bit more respect than it gets. There's obviously the prize money issue when you are not one of the best players in the world. The difficulty of the schedule, like a lot of other things. So I think that there is room for me to try and move in and try and put the word out there at least and gain a little bit of influence in the tennis world to put forward some kind of innovation with tennis. So that's all I'll say about that. Yeah, with the JT Tennis Talks, it will mostly be about me introducing some things, trying to innovate, trying to get some thoughts on certain things, and maybe talking about a few of my own experiences as a player and as a coach, and using these experiences and using these stories or discoveries to try and better players who will listen or players who will watch. Yeah. Okay, moving on. The next thing that I'll unpack, something that's been like swirling around in my head, is shorts, short form content. Not a fully formed idea, I will say. I'm just trying to innovate, to find ways to bring more people to this channel and to these long form videos. I have a lineup of videos that I made a little while ago that I'm pretty happy with and I'm pretty happy moving forward on, but long form content is tough, and I think what makes it tougher is the amount of love you might put into a video, the amount of effort that you might put into a video and have it get no views, have it get minimal views, not really any attention. So figuring out ways to bring more people to those videos, to that content, is what this thought came from. Making shorts, basically summarizing the videos I make, or I don't know, just making random stuff to try and bring people to this channel. That's mostly what it's about. But I already have a full enough plate as it is, and I don't want to do something that I'm not going to be able to sustain. I'm not going to be able to maintain. So, like I said, not a fully formed idea. This is something that I have been thinking about and given serious thought to, but it's not something I've figured out my game plan with it. But yeah, I may go against the pledge that I had made in one of my earlier videos about going completely organic with the growth of this channel. I might decide to go against it, but not completely. My plan is maybe just a handful of YouTube shorts that I'll repost them onto Instagram, but that'll be every once in a while. Maybe like anytime I feel like I've made a banger of a video, just to bring people there. Which brings me to the next one, Instagram. I have stewed over and over again for a little while about starting up a second Instagram. So my current personal Instagram is Josh Tran, and I've been thinking about making a Josh Tran Reels, which will just be an Instagram account for me to post Reels. So the reason being is not, I guess a lot of you creators out there will slam me for this, but it's because I don't want to annoy the followers that I currently have. The followers that I currently have are my friends. People who are used to me not posting, like not seeing a single thing from me because I barely ever post on Instagram. Friends who don't really see me as a content creator. Friends who have known me since I was young and didn't really have any social media presence. So that's the majority of the people who follow me on my personal Instagram. And I feel like if I start posting and behaving a certain way, producing a certain type of content for Instagram for all these people to see, it's just going to annoy them. It's like, oh, in my mind, I feel like they're thinking, oh, what happened to the Josh that never used to post and never used to mess up my Instagram feed, or didn't pop on my Instagram feed? Or maybe they like my content, maybe they don't like my content. And I think one of the harsher things that I could experience is one of my friends unfollowing me, family and friends unfollowing me because they just can't deal with what I'm making. So yeah, that's the reason why I've thought about and stewed over making a second Instagram just for Reels so that I can post there. I'm not going to be fishing for followers or anything like that. It's whoever finds my stuff and follows me, clearly they like my stuff and they're there for my stuff. So anyway, I will use this Reels account if it happens. I'm not saying it's going to happen. I'm speculating. Yeah, if it happens, I will bring attention to my book and JT Tennis. So yeah, so this will serve as more than just a platform to repost shorts, I suppose. And the last thing, this is such a raw thought. I haven't spent anywhere near enough time on this, like anywhere near as much time as I have on any of the other things. So the most raw thought is a website. Yeah, I don't know exactly what I want to do with it, but it's come up and I'm thinking like the vague idea of it would be just sort of a platform or just a domain to house my stuff. You know, maybe you could buy LUT packs or presets on there that I might make. Maybe bits and pieces of merch or downloadable content, downloadable documents regarding my book. You know, I've written more than just the first volume. I've written documents about, with character profiles, documents about the world building, documents with the power systems, and like I've written document after document around this series. So these could all be downloadable content, a good way to sort of form an email list or something. Yeah, a domain to house other book ideas that I might have, so people know what I've been writing, what I'm up to with certain stories or certain anything. Yeah, a chance to make a blog. I'm a lot better at the written work than I am spoken. I'm still getting a little bit more comfortable speaking on camera. Creating a mood board, that just came to me. It's random. Don't ask me to explain. A bio of, obviously of me. Yeah, a bio. Yeah, like I said, there hasn't really been enough time spent thinking about this. It's all just been speculative. I don't know what I'm going to do with it. I don't know how to get it started. Obviously, I know how to make a website, but yeah, I wouldn't know what to begin, like what to put there first or anything like that. So I think down the track it could be, a smart move, but yeah. And things like the shorts and Instagram account can be pretty big pieces of the big puzzle that is this 2-year period. So yeah. Anyway, yeah, that just about wraps it up. I'm pretty sure the camera is going to turn off at some point soon, almost at the recording limit. But yeah, thank you guys for watching. Yeah, this video was me unpacking my brain a little bit. If anyone likes this, I might do a video like this every now and again, because yeah, it felt pretty good to sort of just unpack this a little bit. I sort of speak about it instead of just having it written down here. But yeah, this is me unpacking. Yeah, like I said, normally I am just sort of storing all of these thoughts in my head or writing them down. Sometimes they make it to the page. Most of the time they're just in my head. But yeah, thanks for watching. There you have it. And yeah, I'll catch you guys next time. If you like this video, leave a like and maybe subscribe to the channel. Peace.